Welcome back to Micromobility World. I'm James Gross, your co-host from the Riders' Choice Awards this morning. Levi, one day I hope to be proud to present you with this award.
So sick.
It wasn't this year, but one year I have a very good feeling.
Fingers crossed.
Absolutely. For folks in the audience that just got off the Kara Swisher and Horace Dedyut conversation, amazing to see two icons in the world of technology from a journalism side and an analyst side talk about, of course, entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs, who Kara Swisher's literally sort of brought to their knees, now talking about micromobility, and amazing founders who are changing the way we move. I'm super pumped to have Levi Conlow here today with me, the founder, co-founder and CEO of Lectric Bikes. What Levi is building is really incredible. He's shipping at an incredible pace. And, he's just shipped something recently that I hope we get a chance to talk to. We only have 15 minutes. I've got about 27 questions. So we're going to move as quickly as we can. But again, it's amazing to have Levi. So first, Levi, I just want to thank you for coming on and joining us today.
Right on. Happy to be here. This is fun for me.
Cool. Awesome. Well, let's start from the top. I know a little bit about you. I think you're one of four boys. I think your business has a lot of has some family in it. I think you've been at this for a little while, doing some really cool things right there in Arizona. But yeah, let's start from this. Let's start from the top. Would love to hear your founding story for the audience, who I think would draw a lot of inspiration from your story.
Yeah, totally. So in 2019, my mom and dad really wanted electric bikes, but didn't have any interest dropping 3 racks on each one. And through college, I had played around with hub motor technology and electric skateboards. And it was like a dorm room project, but I was doing like anywhere from, $500,000 a year out of my dorm room, just selling these things and shipping them, throughout the US, which was a great way to pay for all the fun activities you want to do in college and everything like that. So had that experience, kind of fell out of love of that particular type of product because it wasn't a great transportation solution. So when my parents came to me with this, I got really obsessed with just studying the market and the use cases of e-bikes. And I decided it was something I wanted to take on. And so what I did was recruit my childhood best friend, Robbie, who had just got his degree in mechanical engineering, to work on this with me. And we designed our first version of the bike. It was more traditional, diamond frame, and it was an absolute disaster. Lost a lot of my dad's money and everything I pretty much had at the same time as well. Full-blown disaster. But then, fortunately, retooled the whole idea, created the XP, which is today. It was evident people wanted a solution that could be delivered fully assembled, ready to ride. They wanted something more comfortable. They wanted class 3 performance, and they wanted something really attainable on price. And so then we launched the XP on a pre-order, and, we went from selling 1 to 2 bikes a day to selling 1,000 pre-orders in the first 3 weeks. We did about 8,000 in the first 6 months, and really just kind of got our footing in 2019. So 2019, about 8,000 units. That jumped to about 30,000 in 2020, and then 80,000, 85,000, somewhere in that range in 2021. And then 2022, about a little over 150,000 units in 2022.
Incredible. I mean, you had my next question right in there. So first, let's just stop. Sounds like you're a little bit, you're like the Michael Dell of the current age of e-bikes. And, Michael Dell's famous story of building the first computers in his dorm room in Austin. Before that, I know you were an entrepreneur, I think walking dogs 365 days a week or something like that, making money. So it's kind of your DNA, but incredible that, you go 2019, haven't shipped any vehicles. 2022, just to recap, how many units do you think you shipped in 2022?
Over 150,000, which is in America. So technically we electrified more Americans' transportation than GM, Ford, Hyundai, Volkswagen, BMW, Lucid, Rivian, all combined.
Bingo. That's where I was going. From 3 years, being in your dorm room building product to today, you are electrifying more Americans than all those brand name logos with, if you add that all up, you're talking about hundreds of billions in market capitalization. And, not to mention the government help all those companies have received as well.
Right.
To try to make this transition. That's incredibly inspiring and, just sort of amazing. How do you think about where you go? So on the scale, so, that growth is very impressive. Not that there's a law of large numbers, but clearly there's potentially some slowdown you could see when you're growing that quickly. What does 2023 look like? And what if you have sort of a North Star mission on unit shipping? Anything like that would be great to hear.
Anything short of 200,000 is a failure in my books. It's just we've had this explosive growth, and we've accomplished a lot of it with not using a lot of our bullets, right? We haven't had the product offering that appeals to every type of consumer. So we are working on expanding our product offering. But if you just look at the United States and the penetration rate of electric bicycles to the bicycle market, there's significant gains that still has to happen right here in the US where we're focused on, and we just got to keep applying pressure there. So we find we've actually been very fortunate because all through 2022, that was a challenging year for a lot of people in our market. And we were just really numb to it because the reality is if you're hyper affordable and attainable, you can be really economically resilient. So whether it's a downturn or things are going good, our product can always make sense as a solution.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, again, 200,000 unit number is, we've been spending the last couple of weeks doing factory tours all around the United States. 200,000 units is just such an incredible number. So your scale is, again, I just want to reiterate, this is very impressive. In terms of let's just talk demo real quick. You kind of mentioned this, maybe your portfolio isn't completely suited to every person. Where did you start and sort of where are you now from a demographic perspective, and where would you like to go?
Sure, totally. So yeah, when I look at the total 300,000 e-bikes we have out there, a major foundation part of it was these RVers and nomads that our bike could easily fold up and just get planted in their lives. And they became the most powerful traveling sales force ever, going from state park and national park, just kind of showing off the bikes always in new environments. So they were kind of the foundation. And what originally seeded is we actually really kill it in rural America. We'll take over certain cities where, 5% of a city of a couple thousand people all have our bike, and we'll do that all across the United States. So we really, up until about spring 2022, that was our methodology. But then we wanted to tackle urban commuting more.
On there real quick, Levi. So can we just talk about that? So you went in there, you took over those rural areas from a sort of go-to-market sales marketing perspective. Is that because you have these traveling billboards and people are seeing it, or were you actually sort of executing in those local rural areas? You were doing something different than just people riding around on the bikes. I'm just curious on what the sales and marketing strategy was.
Yeah, it's twofold. It was one, those bikes would just go in those communities because RVers often did not live in traditional big cities. Mm-hmm. So there was a relationship, but also we heavily targeted them because we just knew those communities can be really intertwined and vocal with one another. And what we were really able to hit a stride with was they may not have a bike shop for 50 to 100 miles, and we're going to show up with the bike fully assembled, ready to ride. All you got to do is unbox the bike. And so now the convenience factor, we ship free to everyone. That is what really struck a chord with rural America.
Yep. Okay, awesome. So you really nailed rural sort of first, ideal customer profile. And where do you go from there?
Yeah, so then we came out with the XP Lite. So it tried to trim as much fat from the original XPs as we possibly could. So shaved off about 18 pounds, but 2 inches in every folding dimension. And we shaved off $200. And what that was really focused on was this younger demo of people. And as soon as that launched, it became just a massive success and was clearly something people were waiting for. They wanted something lighter weight to bring up to their apartment. And so, because without the battery, it's 39 pounds, much more attainable than maybe our 60 some pound bikes.
Yep.
And that right away is on track for, close to 50,000 units in its first 12 months, I believe. So just launching something and it gaining traction like that so quickly is pretty telling of the design resonating with people.
Yep. Okay. So you went rural. Now it sounds like younger demo. You're really starting to gain a lot of traction with. Clearly, you have a trike
Yes.
that we're really excited about that you've recently announced. Who's the trike catering towards, and is that a new audience or an existing audience?
No, I think it's buildup of our existing audience. So when we were in rural America and focused on RVers, it was 65 plus. And where I actually have my office set up, I see every test ride that happens at Lectric. It goes right past my office. And what was evident in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, we have been failing our customers by not having a solution for all of them. So I have a solution for this big segment of people, but the reality is there's this appetite for this other group to go out and ride and either do it to a life-changing event or just age and balance. They can't ride, and that to me felt like failure. And I hate that feeling. So we have since come out with a trike to tackle that need, but it's built in the vein of Lectric. So it's built off the XP platform, which is insane value for the price. So that's how we get to 300,000 units in the fastest speed ever. But it also has this insane value. And then it's the convenience aspect of it shows up to the customer folded, fully assembled, ready to ride. So it kind of gets rid of those aspects of, oh, do I really want this thing or not? And so it allows people to take a chance on us. And we're really, really excited to start accepting pre-orders of that in early February.
Okay. So insane value, insane price. I agree based on, I know that price. Can you tell the audience what the price is on the trike?
Yeah, so it's $14.99. It comes standard with a 670 watt hour battery, hydraulic brakes, 2 parking brakes. It's foldable. It has a motor that peaks out over 1,000 watts, so it can easily handle hill climbs well north of 20%. And yeah, it's an absolute workhorse. Okay,
so then let's talk about your sort of channel strategy. So I hear you really, leaning into this idea of at your doorstep, ready to go. That speaks to me in my mind. I hear a lot of, direct to consumer sort of channel there, which is fantastic. We've been doing factory tours, talking to entrepreneurs like you. One thing I've heard a lot of lately though is, hey, DTC is not enough. We need a better relationship with the customer. We need to be able to service the customer more, whether it's the independent bike network or it's the big box retailers. Do you see your channel strategy evolving? And if so, maybe what percent, what's the mix you see from a channel perspective?
100% D2C, no expectation of that changing. We like collaborative relationships through networks like Beeline that can help us service. But the way we design our bikes and the way we try to inform our customers is for them to be empowered to work on their bikes when some of that service comes up. So really detailed video libraries on how to do some of that maintenance, because the 300,000 bikes I have out there, all of those need maintenance at some point. And so just being educated and supportive of that is certainly a top priority. But I think what we've proven over these last 4 years, and we've gotten more e-bikes out there than most of the big names that exist through dealer networks. And we've done it in stride with a really, small team and scalable team. We're just over 100 people here. Customer service is only about 30 people. And I challenge you to call in right now and you're not going to have a wait. So that just means when we build products, they work. And when they do need maintenance, we make it as frictionless as possible.
You're shipping 2,000 bikes an employee at the current run rate, it sounds like.
Roughly, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yes.
And again, I think it's, for the audience, I might not know this. When you ship 200,000 vehicles, the companies that are even maybe not even approaching that, a lot of them have raised hundreds of millions of dollars. In the car world, we have companies that have raised billions of dollars to ship that still haven't really shipped. Can you tell your funding strategy and story to date?
Yeah, I'll leave out most of the details, but back in 2020, it was evident we were holding the company back a bit because we were constantly on a 6-month back order, it kind of felt like. So we raised some capital with Bertram Capital, a group out of the Bay Area, a private equity group. And they've just been a fantastic partner for us along the way. But from day one, I actually didn't know you could build a business that wasn't profitable. Like I did not understand that concept. So from day one, Lectric has been profitable and fueling the majority of its growth itself by just recycling the profits and everything like that. And that methodology hasn't changed, even with some minor outside investment, especially when we look at what our competition and other markets have raised. We just like to build really foundationally sound businesses that are extremely scalable and that can afford to finance its own growth.
Yep. Excellent. So when do I come back and talk to you and you tell me, hey, we've crossed 1 million units shipped in a year?
I think that is happening pretty quickly. I think the reality is we got to see the penetration rate here in the United States get to somewhere around 40% of all bicycles sold being electric, that we can reach that point. I think that's probably in about 6 or so years is plausible, as long as we are willing to really work for it. But the reality is we have a lot of opportunities. There's incredible appetite for our product over in Europe, for example, and we just haven't gone there because we're so laser focused. So there's a lot of potential avenues, whether it's through product expansion or geographic expansion, for us to take on and then significantly expand our reach of our company.
Amazing. Like if I were to summarize, Levi, it sounds like, just micromobility itself is contrarian, but you are sort of this epitome of, going rural instead of coastal, right? In terms of like where you found an audience originally, hitting an underserved market in many ways, in that aging market that really does want to ride like the rest of us. Not taking an incredible amount of funding, not understanding that you don't run a business that's not profitable. Again, something in a lot of the high tech world that of course we live in, and then just the laser focus on the channel strategy, both only being in North America, only being D2C. So I think there's just so many insights here for a lot of people to learn from. I think the story is just incredible. The unit shipping is just incredible.
Thank you.
Anything else you'd want to leave us with the last 30 seconds we have?
No, I guess if I have the audience's attention and hopefully some of my peers, I would really challenge my counterparts to, I think 2023 could be a year of real price stabilization or even reduction. And I think as an industry, we should be heading in that direction. If we're serious about, our planet, the products we make have to be more affordable, and based on container prices, componentry prices, conversion rates, all of that stuff supports that prices should be more attainable than where they've been historically. And it's incredibly disappointing to see that that's not what some people are doing. And we're almost using inflation as this backdrop just to raise prices and try to make more money, which is frustrating. So if I have their attention, I would like for us as an industry to push forward to better attainability and accessibility of these products.
Amen. Insane value, insane price. Levi Conlow, thank you so much. Founder and CEO of Electric Bikes. It's been great to have you today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.